from Plant Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker.News Live! Hello, Joe. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker.News Live. My name is Carl. I'm the BFF Keyan. Keyan, how's your week?
Hello, it's great.
Show them the beer that you're drinking.
Oh, I'm drinking this weird Michelob Ultra beer called it's lime cactus flavored.
Lime cactus. You hear that, Stackers? So it's like slimy, right? It's like a slimy.
Maybe it has like a slight slime to it.
Oh, really? It does. Like it's like the avwav, or what is it called? The
aloe.
Oh, it's aloe.
No, well, like the inside of a cactus is kind of squishy gel sometimes, depending on the cactus, I imagine. But
so you can feel that in the back
not
of your throat,
really.
where it's just like
Not
sliding
really.
down.
Yeah, it's just like semen, like a bit, like a nice.
Unless you like semen, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not judging anyone who likes semen.
Some people like semen.
Yeah,
no, but I'm saying,
Michelob it's like, Ultra lime semen.
But it's like a guava. It's like you can feel the slime though.
Not really. No, it was just kind of, but I think. Let me see.
He's tasting it right now, Stackers.
No, it doesn't really. It's mostly a flavor. It has like cactus has like a slight.
It's been a while since I've eaten a Napolito.
Yeah, a very subtle flavor, and it's kind of just tastes like a plant.
I feel like it's like a spicier version of a green bean.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice.
Right? Or no?
Yeah.
I mean, they look the same.
They do. Yeah, they do kind of look the same in some cases. Yeah. Anyway, that's what that is. My week was fine. I didn't do anything. I don't think. Yeah, just normal stuff. How about you? How was your week?
Man, I was telling you, I missed my flight on Sunday. I was supposed to come back Sunday. Well, I didn't miss my flight. It's a long story. Anyway, I just didn't get confirmed on my thing. Like they gave you a confirmation number, and then when I punched it in the next day, it wasn't showing up like I was checked in. And then I didn't want to go all the way to the airport and then like chance it because I've done that before. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to book another flight. But the other flights that were booked from Guadalajara are like $400, $500. I'm like, screw that. Like, I'm not going to pay all that money. So the next day I just went on the bus.
How long was the bus?
It was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. It was like from 5:30-ish till about, breaking into America probably around 5 a.m. But I got to see like the complete country. It was awesome. Like being able to see what Mexico looks like when you're in a bus was cool. And then I had Wi-Fi. It was comfortable. So I was just coding and watching Fantastic Four. So it was fun.
So you were like 16 hours on a bus?
Yeah, but it was awesome. Like It was like nice, comfortable chair. Like,
was there a lot of people on it?
No, there wasn't that many people on it because it was like in the middle of the week. It was like a Monday.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I definitely probably would do it again. Like if I had to go from one side of Mexico to the other side of Mexico, I'd probably do it again, especially if it's a night thing. Because I just slept most of the night. I slept for like 5 hours. But yeah, that was my week. And then I got tired yesterday. I was like kind of tired by the time I got to yesterday, so I left early. But yeah, it's been a pretty good week getting back to work. Austin is extremely hot right now. So I don't know if people are planning on visiting, but this is a wrong time to visit Austin. It's so hot, dude. It's like 100 and something degrees.
It's cooling off, though. I think September is when Austin begins to get nice again.
I hope so.
So, yeah, maybe it's a good time to plan a trip to Austin. But
yeah. But if you've never seen this crazy show before, Stackers, we're calling you Stackers because we're going to cover the top 3 stories this week on Stacker.News. There's a lot of drama happening today. Self-inflicted by Coob and Company for
I love the drama
doing something. It's turned into a bit of a dumpster fire, and we're going to talk about it. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the chat as they do. And stay tuned. We're going to talk about everything. The number 3 top story this week is my friend and I revived an old Coca-Cola vending machine. This is from Leo. 16 comments, 13,000 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, this Leo posted this last night, I think. Yeah, 15 hours ago. So apparently you can buy old Coca-Cola vending machines. They say late 60s, early 70s for about $500, or $500 Canadian, which is like what? It's like half an American. What is a Canadian version? I just feel like the Canadian version of something is less than the American version, but maybe
why do you say that for?
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it's like kind of like you give your little brother like your old shoes.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I feel like that's our relationship with Canada. Anyway, 500. Let's just say 500 US dollars. You can get one of these vending machines, and they tricked it out, or they said the one of the things that's usually broken in these machines is that the coin operation is broken, and they wanted to replace that anyways with Lightning stuff. So that was actually to their benefit. And then another reason these machines, why they're in such good position, is because they're normally kept outside, or they're normally not kept outside because they have like a flaw and allow you to steal from them.
Oh, these right here. Okay.
These, yeah. So there's the picture of it, and because it has like a door, you can see there's like a door on the left. And so what happens when you pay is that door opens and allows you to go in there and grab one. And so it's kind of a not a great design, but that meant a lot of the machines were kept inside and are in a lot better condition. So they bought one of them. They added Lightning to
That's
it.
cool.
They replaced the coin operation with Lightning. How they specifically did it is there's a static QR, an
Right there.
LNURL pay
Is that
code.
here?
That's
Oh,
it right
that's
there.
cool.
You pay $2 Canadian, whatever that means, and they have a little Pi Zero, and they have an Elements instance. And when Elements receives the payment, it tells the Pi Zero to trigger the drink opening mechanism, and you grab a drink out. It's pretty cool.
So cool.
Very
should-
cool. Yeah.
And they said they bought it for like $500.
$500. I bet you could.
Oh,
I bet you could find one that even cheaper if you, especially. I imagine in Austin, we could find someone
Dude, I would love to.
who
do
has
that.
one of these already
I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola.
for a couple $100s.
Yeah, I feel like Ovi told me he had somebody that could do that, or that had these access to these. I feel like I could just ask Ovi, and Ovi would know where to get one relatively cheap.
It's probably pretty simple. You just have the Pi Zero, and then you just need
Yeah.
to have some like electrical,
Yeah, it's just ESP32 chip, I think.
Yeah.
It's just
some
trigger.
kind of analog signal to trigger
Yeah,
something from doing something.
that's cool.
Yeah, we should get one for Pleb Lab for sure.
That would be dope. Yeah, it's just all. Yeah, and you would probably make it back pretty fast too.
Yeah,
Especially like we have one at like at my place where they have like it's like downstairs by the workout room, and dude, they never fill that thing up. It's just like it sucks. But it's like $1.85 for like a soda. They have like Red Bulls and waters in there, and they just never fill it up. But then one time I was there and I was paying for it, and it literally just like got stuck. Like all these bottles got stuck at the bottom, and I was just like, I feel like these old school ones were a little bit more like they worked.
Yeah, I mean they're actually pretty good businesses. I have some like family friends who have a who at one point had a vending machine business.
Mhm.
So you buy these machines, like kind of a large upfront capital costs, and then you kind of install them in places where you think people will use them. And then all you have to do is like go and refill them occasionally and do service on the machines, and you have like sort of a passive income stream.
Yeah, I used to know a guy that had like a couple of laundromats that he owned, and dude, he made a lot of money.
Yeah,
He made a lot of money doing the laundromat stuff.
Yeah.
But he had some in San Antonio. He just had like two small little laundromats. A lot of it, he said that a lot of it's just like self service. You have to maybe go in there, and be like once every other day, like that sort of thing. But it's if you put it in a relatively good neighborhood, and you're checking in on it, like it pretty much kind of
runs
it's a
itself.
money machine. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool. What did the stackers say? Top comment was from you. It's a DIY.
Oh, maybe that's tough.
You mean to move it to DIY?
Yeah, he put it in tutorial, which which is a fair place to put it, but I felt like DIY is maybe a little better for this one.
Artie Clark says, I've been waiting to go to Vancouver. Great project. DS said, this is really cool. Do you have a video of it in action? Scores, we said, excellent work. I wish I was still living in Vancouver. Did you transport the machine yourselves? He said, yeah, we moved the machine ourselves with a van and dolly. Totally doable. Pretty cool.
Apparently, it's also located at the new Decentral hackerspace
Oh, wow.
in Vancouver, which I think Leo wrote a post about how the old one was shutting down
Oh, yeah.
a few months ago, and so it looks like they've continued that hackerspace going, which is awesome.
There's a lot of these like decentral. I feel like I feel like I went to one in Austin where they have like these they're like not into like Bitcoin or crypto or anything like that. They're just like into like decentralization.
Hmm.
I feel like
We do
we
have
went
one. We
one
do have
in.
something like that here.
Yeah, I feel like I went to one during South by. I don't know what the name of it was, but
Ted
it's
has a hat from them.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like some rich dude who scored a lot of money from an exit, and then he just like
loves centralization.
yeah loves essentially yeah just like yeah just has it.
Yeah, it gets like infatuated with an aspect of these systems. It's kind of like feet guys, but like with like technology, you can get people that are kind of
I mean, you kind of
a
really.
feature. They get
I hate
obsessed
to
with a
say it, but it
feature.
feels like those guys have to exist, especially like even in
Yeah.
culture in general. Like those, like like what's his name? The one we always talk about on the show, the guy with the colorful stuff, Jim Jones or what's his name? Not Jim Jones.
Jimmy
Rob.
Jones.
No, the guy who with the colorful suit and all that kind of stuff. The guy who made the pages with the really colorful pages and
Oh,
Wired.
oh, you mean the guy with the question marks on his suit?
No,
Wait,
no, the guy who made the magazine. Remember that Cool Gadget magazine? And then he's made like he's very
oh,
popular.
Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, I feel like you need people
Oh,
like that, like the Kevin Kellys of who are just like rich people that like do fun, interesting things.
I feel like Kevin Kelly's it's just like super generative
Yeah,
and like
generous with his knowledge. Anyways, cool stuff, man. Coca Cola. I'm surprised Coca Cola. Just real quick, I'm surprised Coca Cola is still around, to be honest, but also
oh,
not surprised at the
I
same.
bet they're doing great. I bet their stock price is doing in a great spot.
Yeah. Do you think Coca Cola will be around in another 100 years?
Yeah, I would guess so. I mean, people like sugar as much as even if you tell them that it's like cigarettes, so you kind of can tell
Yeah.
them not to do it. They're still going to do it because we like it.
Yeah.
People like it.
It's a real thing. Let's go here. The number two top story this week. It's exhausting being without electricity. Oh no, this is from Politics and Law. Beef 57, 16,000 comments, 27 or no, 77 comments, 16,000 sats. Keyan. What's
Yeah, so it looks
this?
like Beef 57 is still back in Venezuela. We've covered a few things that they've reported over the years on
Yeah.
Venezuela. They grew up in Venezuela and they moved to Peru. I think they're back visiting family now, but they were there when Maduro was usurped and taken to the United States or whatever. But they were saying that the problems in Venezuela continue, like the mismanagement of the infrastructure and other things there continue after Maduro fell. And they're saying that they're about 6 hours every day, 6 consecutive hours, they lose power, and are just writing about how frustrating that is and kind of the personal consequences that they have to live with as a result. Um, like, oh, with that, well, they have to leave. I guess mosquitoes are a big problem, probably because they can't use AC. They have to kind of leave windows open, and mosquitoes are coming in. It's also very hot. It's much harder to sleep when we're too hot. I imagine Venezuela's pretty warm climate. They say they can't do much work. Oh, and also like cell towers tend to go down when the power is out, so that's a problem. They can keep the Wi-Fi up for a bit, but they say it tends to slow down, probably because a lot of people are switching over to their ISPs rather than using their cell phones when the power outages go on, or maybe there's just maybe also parts of the internet backbone there kind of go down as well. Um, what else we got? Yeah,
Pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad.
yeah. I mean, it's really easy to take this stuff for granted, and yeah, it's not guaranteed at all. And
Yeah, when I was in Mexico, we were staying at a place that didn't have like high pressure water,
oh,
and it was like, yeah, you notice it.
it like trickle out of the shower.
Yeah, it would just like kind of spray out, but it was like in America, there's just like super high pressure water that comes out.
Certainly here, yeah.
Yeah, it's just oh, do they not have that in California?
Some place, I mean, it depends on where you're at, but
Oh, okay.
they'll try to make like water conservation efforts.
Oh, okay. So that might just be a Texas thing, huh?
No, I think you can find it in most places in the United States. Like we would go like, but I would occasionally, if we would move somewhere, I'd be impressed by how little water pressure there would be.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. Well, in Mexico, like even you wash your hands, there's like very little water that comes out, and it comes out very little bit. Same thing when you take a shower. There's like water that comes out, but it's not as high. Like full on. I forget what you call that. Is it high pressure water?
Pressure is good, yeah.
Yeah, it just
Volume,
doesn't.
high
Yeah, the
volume, high
volume and
pressure.
the pressure is just not there. Yeah, it's just those little small things that you notice, right? It's like, and then electricity. That's a big one though. Oh man, I've been without electricity for like 3-4 days before, and man, dude, it sucks. You get used to it though.
During the freeze,
No, during the heat, like, but you get used to it. Like
during the
you,
heat.
yeah, you get used to. You just roll up your windows and just try to get a fan. Just try to be next to a fan. But if
Before
you
I
have no electricity, then you have to be running like batteries and stuff.
before I moved to Texas, I would not use central heating or air.
Hmm.
Uh, and I lived in a climate that would get as hot as Texas in California, and you do get used to it. But I was just so cheap, I would not.
Yeah,
But you can manage with it, and it does get cooler at night to the point where
yeah,
you can sleep pretty well.
yeah. You can definitely get used to it, but like if you're like in where they're at, it sounds like he's in a really hot climate.
With a lot of mosquitoes.
Mm.
Yeah, like we have here.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, it's not good. It sucks.
Can you imagine
Well,
sleeping outside here?
I think it'd be
No
better than
coverage.
sleeping inside with no AC, or no electricity.
That's true. It'd be
Right?
cooler
Because at least the ground will be cool.
Yeah, we know
Um,
Super did that for a long time, and
mhm.
he didn't seem too worse for it.
Top comment because it makes you appreciate things a little bit more and have
Yeah.
empathy for others who don't have stuff like that. Top comment was from Crew. He said, "I bought a portable solar panel for this reason. I can't sustain my normal electricity hunger, but at least I can charge my phone after a disaster. Yeah, at least you can keep yourself entertained, right? Like maybe you're not like you know cool and like comfortable and mosquitoes biting you, but at least you can watch some Stacker.News live on YouTube or Natalie Brunel, whatever you like."
Wait, who's watching Stacker.News live? I was
Well,
trying.
he said that he has a solar panel for this reason, so he can plug in his phone. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So you can watch
Oh, I see.
you watch your favorite show.
Oh, he has like a little prep.
Yeah, or you can
Okay.
watch your Walker Texas Ranger, whatever.
You think Crew watches Watcher Texas Ranger?
I'd be surprised.
I think he's
I
more
would be
like
surprised.
Housewives of Beverly Hills type of guy.
I feel like Crew probably watches a
No,
little
just
Walker
kidding,
Texas Ranger. I mean, who doesn't? You ever seen Walker Texas Ranger?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, it's a great show. He just kicks ass, dude. The whole show. It's just like, let's get Walker. He just comes in, kicks ass. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry you're going through this. I don't know what else to say. Keyan, you got anything helpful advice?
No, not really. Yeah, I don't. The only advice you can give in this situation is like leave, but that's not really great advice because they're there for they left before.
Yeah.
They're back there probably to take help with family. So, yeah,
Yeah, I would say like, maybe run for mayor or something. I don't know if that will help. Maybe he has to join a political office to like make some changes. So sometimes what's that quote from Dune? I was watching it last night. He goes, "Sometimes the people that don't want to lead that end up leading." So there's that.
sometimes the people that don't want to lead have to.
Yeah, sometimes it's the people that don't want to lead end up having to lead sometimes, and they actually end up being better leaders because they don't want to lead. So
Yeah, people that want to lead
tend to be
without
terrible.
having to pay the cost of leading. Yeah,
Yeah.
do a bad job with it.
Yeah. Anyways, so maybe Beef runs for mayor. The number one top story this week is on the salaries of basketball players and capitalism's contributions to society. This is Den, 29 comments, 21,000 sats. Keyan, what's going on with basketball players this week?
Yeah. So Den finds an article about by an economist, I think Michael Munger, called "Why Do Basketball Players Make More Than Teachers?" and uses it to help Mo, who wrote a post about capitalism over the weekend, and also Scoresby, who will talk about their posts later. But like, why? The question is, why do basketball players make more than teachers? And Den helps us by explaining it and taking out quotes from it. But the reason why the reason is, or the answer is, basketball players don't make more than teachers. Elite basketball players make more than the average teacher, But the average basketball player, who is maybe me, maybe I play hoops on the weekends occasionally, I get paid no money. I am the average basketball player. Yet the average like school teacher, they get paid, at least minimum wage or maybe 80K a year. I think 74,000 a year is what they say here. So actually, the average teacher probably makes more than the average basketball player. And I would guess an elite teacher makes as much as, or like a very good teacher makes as much as the average pro basketball player. You can imagine like a billionaire paying for very very expensive education for their children.
Yeah, I would say also too because basketball players, they'll get their rookie contract, and that's like 2 years guaranteed, and that could be anywhere between 500 and $1 million, and that's only for 2 years, and like half of that goes to depending on what state they're in, and then another part goes to their agent. So they could probably be making like 250 grand for those first 2 years of playing basketball. I mean, listen to Stacker Sports if you want the most up to date salaries. But all I'm saying is like I don't think these guys get paid that much. And then the ones that actually do make it past that first rookie year contract or that rookie contract, like they probably don't make it more than 5 years in the league, 6 years. And then even the ones that are the veterans, they get paid like the veteran minimum. And if you put that against like a 30-year, 40-year career of a teacher, so I would imagine the teachers still come out ahead. That would just be my best case.
Yeah. So I guess the economic term for this is marginal price. So the marginal price for a basketball player is negative, and the marginal price for a teacher is like $80,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so the teachers are actually making more in terms of the marginal
that
price.
much though?
I think so.
I don't remember them. I thought they were getting paid like 30K a year or something.
I grew up in a really small town, and some of the wealthiest, like well-off people in the town, or at least like upper middle class people, were teachers.
Oh.
They were like maybe, I mean, it's just because the town was so small. You had doctors, maybe you had lawyers, and like significant landowners, business owners. Maybe they were like very upper class, but then the teachers were firmly in the middle class, and most of everyone was else. So based on the cars and stuff they were driving, I would say probably at least 80,000 a year.
Yeah. Cool. We got the top comment from Scoresby said the business of paying for attention is hugely interesting to me, but I think it is very difficult to convey to the unwashed masses, people who don't really want to think about it. Ew, paying for attention. That's an ad. Nobody likes to read ads. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was toward the bottom where Den takes this kind of abstract concept of marginal price and applies it to the like AI slop, infinite generation, and paying for posting content. That's how he ties in Scoresby's post that we'll cover later. Is what is the marginal price of content on X? It's free, it's zero. On Stacker.News, it's negative. But what does that mean? Is kind of what Den said. It costs you money on Stacker.News. Is kind of the idea.
Yeah, I have some ideas on that. I think that's all the top stories we have this week. If you want to check out more of Stacker.News, head over to Stacker.News and sign up for the newsletter. Where do they go to do that, Keyan? You just go here at the bottom.
Oh, for the newsletter?
Yeah.
It's in your... If you sign up with an email address to Stacker.News, you get...
Oh, there you go. So sign up for your email address. Sign up with Stacker.News with the email address, and then you'll get a newsletter with all the top stories covering even more of the wonderful world of Stacker.News. Cool. We're going to jump into our stories and Wumble's picks. But before we do that, I want to thank a sponsor. So we're going to thank our sponsor, Bitcoin Education Quest. That's right. Right before the show, I was watching some Edward One Does on time change. Admin and had access to even more than he ever thought he could have access to. Did you know that, Keyan?
That he was a SharePoint admin?
Yeah.
So he was like running Microsoft
Yeah, I was talking to somebody this week,
suites or something.
and he was just a SharePoint admin. He wasn't like as hardcore as everybody thought. But I mean, it was interesting that he had access to all this other stuff.
Well, he might also be underplaying his role. I don't know. I actually don't know to what extent he was
I'm not saying
involved
anything
in.
is bad. I'm just saying like I didn't know that.
It does make sense that the DoD and stuff would need
Yeah, it's all Microsoft,
IT,
I'm sure.
Microsoft people,
Yeah.
in addition to their shadowy supercoders.
Yeah. Anyways, if you're interested in more about Edward Snowden or even more different shows, like this one's covering the Spectre wallet, if you're interested in that, go over here to Time Chain TV, or go actually by Bitcoin Education Quest and check it out. Cool stuff. That's Anita.
Oh wow! I think I missed that one. Remember when she came to Austin?
Yeah, I remember when she came to Club Lab. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2022 or so.
Yeah. Cool stuff. I want to thank Bitcoin Education Quest. This will be their last week sponsoring us. Thank you, Phil, for supporting Stacker.News Live. And we're looking for another sponsor. So if you're somebody out there, let us
Or we
know.
might start selling our own thing. Start selling some Stacker.News Live nicotine gum.
Damn, that'd be sick.
How about that?
It would make me
Some
sick.
lime
I'm sure.
cactus Stacker.News Live juice.
We're going to jump into Womble's picks. Every week, Womble chooses what he wants us to talk about because the wonderful world of Womble exists only for you, the stackers. And he's choosing this week. He wants us to talk about.
Oh, I missed his actually.
Let me see. He wants to talk about nobody. Or hang on. Was that the one they wanted to talk about? Yeah, that was. Nobody likes the idea of pay to post outside of Stacker News. This is what Wumble wants us to talk about. This was from Scoresby. 10,000 sats, 63 comments. Keyan, what is Wumble talking about this week?
Yeah, so I think over the last 2 weeks or so, Scoresby had been going on other forums on the internet and trying to convince them of Stacker News the idea and not Stacker News the site, but just like the concept behind Stacker News to see what they thought of it and what if he could get like unbiased feedback from like the general populace or like forum operators or people on these who spend a lot of time on these forums, whether they had an opinion that was worth knowing. And so he writes up his full experience, which is generally negative. People's immediate response seems to be terrible idea.
They're like, flock off.
Yeah, basically, terrible idea. Doesn't make any sense. A lot of it like reminded me of basically most people's feedback on Stacker News very early when I started it. Like there are several concepts where I could probably find a comment early on Stacker News that's exactly like the comment that Scoresby got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where when people are asked to talk about Stacker News, they say things like, "Oh, no one will ever do this," or "It'll over time it'll be this," etc. And that's kind of it's like everyone has a lot of people share the same knee jerk reaction.
What ended up being the truth then?
The truth of what?
Like, where were people actually right? Was anybody actually right?
I would say no. I would say
wrong.
I would say there's not. It's hard to say to what extent they meant what they said, but obviously they're wrong about people not paying to post and not paying to comment. And I think there's reason for it, as Den wrote in his post that we were discussing earlier. Is it makes a difference, and Simple Stacker has done work on and analytical work on showing that. So I think they're wrong.
This guy said right here, look, he said, "Do not quit your day job and start this startup. Please learn to cook." Damn, yeah. Keyan, how does that make you feel, man?
I don't know. I mean, I think people say all kinds of things.
That's so. Look, he's literally talking to you. But you know how to cook, though.
I'm not bad at cooking.
Last guy who tried this recently killed himself. Damn, man. Where did he go post this?
This is a brutal.
Dude, this is vicious.
It's actually pretty great.
Odd lots. I mean, you love this shit. Look, I didn't know that something awful made users pay a fee for a second chance. Oh man, dude, this is pretty brutal.
That's interesting. Yeah, but a lot of these are like kind of meta forums, like forums about forums. And some of them like banned him, like they didn't even let him post, or he couldn't even get access to it.
Somebody just posted this right here. Most efficient way to ruin a forum. Wow, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sorry to laugh at your expense, but it was
I don't find it. I don't find it my expense.
okay. All right. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh,
I'll stop interrupting.
anyway, yeah, so most of the feedback he got, he would say, on kind of politically more left leaning forums or forums that exhibited more traits commonly found among left leaning communities, it was negative. But he
The
said
communists.
once he found economists and libertarians, they tended to be a little more susceptible to the sense of it. Um, but they wouldn't cause as much reaction, because part of what was enjoyable about Scoresby's adventure through the other forums was how against the idea they were, and there's potentially insight into that reaction. But on the libertarian forums, they were just like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea," and that's kind of all
Oh,
they had to
really? Is
say.
that what they
Yeah,
said?
yeah, like there was just
Interesting.
not a whole lot. But they kind of understand that this kind of thing might make sense. They have like a framework for viewing it through. But like the average person who just makes a wage, just sees money as like an oppressive mechanism in their life, and not something that provides.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Did he go on Reddit or Hacker News and ask the same thing as well too, or no?
He can't. I think he has like negative karma on Reddit,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
really hard to get posting rights on. I think one of these Austrian forums was a Reddit one.
And so that was good.
Yeah, but Hacker News, I don't know. I think he's gonna continue this experiment though.
Yeah, I saw a post from Hacker News on the weekend, I think it was, and it said that they were going to start posting on Twitter now. Like they're going to share their posts the same way you guys do. So I thought that was funny.
On Hacker News?
Yeah. So you know how like you share the Stacker News posts on Stacker News Twitter and like Nostr or whatever? They're going to start doing that on their Hacker News website
On their Hacker News website.
or their Hacker News social.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought they already did that.
No.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, it's wild stuff. Is there any other thing you want to point out here before we go into Wilma's question?
No, not. I mean,
Well, Simple Stacker said leading off. He said a couple things. Leading off with moderated by money is already starting off on the wrong foot. I agree. Most people have a complex aesthetic and more relationship to the word money. You should have pitched it as an alternative to using ads, so data for revenue. Now, thanks to Stacker News, you can diligently claim that empirical evidence supports the idea that small monetary payments can increase quality of content. Asking around in forums will get you a good sampling of the general vibes, the idea, but I don't think it will get you a good signal on the real reasons that will or won't use a product. Negative reactions doesn't mean people won't use it. Everyone rags on Twitter, TikTok, DraftKings, but millions of people use it. Take their words with a grain of salt. What do you think about that?
which part specifically? There was a
All
lot
of
in
them.
there. All. What do I think of all of it?
All of these points.
I would agree in general that moderated, but money as the moderator is maybe a little bit like doesn't have any appeal for the average person. It does explain how I think of it, but that isn't very helpful for someone who might be exploring Stacker News for the first time.
Front page of Bitcoin.
Yeah, he points out the study that he did and the model he built around Stacker News and how that provides empirical evidence that the claims that we make are accurate. The real reason they do things, yeah, there's a lot of discussion in here about how we frame Stacker News, and perhaps we do it the wrong way by saying pay to post or money moderated. I would agree that for the average person, I think at first we thought of pay to post as being perhaps provoking this reaction that Scoresby sees, and somehow us being able to capture that excitement and turn it into like a kind of assign it momentum. But I don't think we ever figured out how to connect those two things. But alternatives that people have discussed, I feel like, are kind of don't make sense and aren't right either. So we just need to keep iterating on kind of how we present Stacker News to people beyond like how we think of it. Yeah.
So Wumble had a question. Wumble's question was, let's go back here. Because this was Wumble's pick. Wumble said, would an online population like Substack that are already spending money, be it in fiat to read posts, might have an easier time adopting a pay to post model? ? Keyan, what do you think about Womble's question?
Well, they already do. You already do pay them to post. You just pay on the back end. When someone subscribes to your newsletter, they take 10%. So that's kind of the model at Substack. And I don't. So I think they already have it in pay to post. I don't think they would. I don't think it makes sense for their business model and the way they've structured things. They've already assumed that you can create a newsletter for free. I don't think it makes sense for their business for that to do it. It's a very different. It's also like structurally very different. Like something like Substack is more like private property. It's like you're subscribing intentionally to each newsletter that you subscribe to. You're choosing your private feed. On Stacker.News, it's shared. Everything is shared. The homepage is shared. And everything like that is shared. So it's a very different like environment, and that's why we have pay to post, is because of that environment, because you see everything that everyone posts, which is a benefit to anyone who feels like they don't have reach and can't get subscribers on something like Substack. But it doesn't make sense for someone who feels themselves popular or has a lot of clout. You might as well go to Substack and get paid that way. But Stacker.News is more oriented towards like I feel like more people who are more nameless, faceless, but also very interesting and curious, who don't want their name and face and don't want to build up clout. They're not really concerned about that as much as they are about improving
Yeah,
themselves.
I feel like I feel like it's two different things. I feel like Stacker News, at least for me over time, has proven to be more high signal. So if I want to find out actually what's going on or ask a question and get an intelligent answer, I'll go to Stacker News. If I just want to be entertained, there's other places to go and do that. But I feel like Substack is definitely a different beast altogether because they're kind of do a little bit of everything now. They like do streaming now. They do like newsletters. They have like a follow thing. They have like all sorts of things. But
I think they've gone too broad.
yeah, they're definitely broad because you can get lost in the sauce as far as like going everywhere. But I don't think they have a choice, right? Because they're people that are using their platforms request these things, and so they have to have, they have to fit in every box for these big. Because there's even like actual news companies that run on Substack now, local small ones, and then even like you said, like the influencer crowd also posts on there. Like Jimmy Song posts on there.
Kevin Kelly's switched his
Yeah, so
blog
it's like
over to.
one of those things where like if you're trying to build a following and you've written books like Jimmy has, then it's probably makes sense for you to have a Substack. But yeah, I agree. Like if I want to go get signal, I feel like I'll go to Stacker News for Bitcoin stuff. I wouldn't go to a Substack unless like a Jimmy Song posted or somebody I know posts. Club Lab uses Substack because I've realized over time that it's just easier to get subscribers and you actually don't lose as many subscribers on Substack. So that's why we moved there. And so I've been posting the Club Lab only stuff on there. Um, but
Yeah,
so I think Substack does convert though, because we had one person come from San Antonio and they saw it through our newsletter from Substack for startup day. So I do think it converts for what the people that we're trying to reach for Club Lab. But I think if I wanted personally, Carr wanted to go and like get some information on Bitcoin and what's happening in Bitcoin, I'll come to Stacker News. That's why I always say it's the front page of Bitcoin because it feels like it is. If I want to go like just like shit talk, I'll just go to X.
yeah. I was something occurred to me when we were talking about Substack. I wonder if part of the reason why they started like diversifying across other media types is because I know I've noticed, and people that I've subscribed to on Substack they've trended towards a lot of slot newsletters where I was subscribed to them and I liked the writing and I liked how careful it was and how thoughtful it was in the way that a human writes. And then when AI started booming, I'll occasionally get these just massive, like just kind of pointless posts that are filled with slop. And I'm like, how did I ever subscribe to this person? And then I'll go back through their history and see that they were originally writing themselves and how much I appreciated that. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm not getting like spam. This isn't spam. This person I subscribe to just like kind of changed their way of writing. I suspect that might be why Substack has kind of gotten broader is because they see they might have some internal numbers that are showing that people are kind of
I would find like
abusing
me
their
personally, like as I've gotten
subscribers.
older, I read more online than I ever have, and I subscribe more to newsletters, and I pay for more newsletters than I've ever have. So I would say, just in general, at least for me, like I'm actually trending towards the opposite way. Like I'm
Wow.
reading more and I'm writing more. The other question I was going to ask you, and this never dawned on me until right now. This is how stupid I am. Why can't we subscribe and pay to Scoresby or to Siggy on Stacker.News? Like, what's stopping you from doing that? Like
Uh,
per month. Why can't I give Scoresby or Siggy 50K sats per month? I know I can do that for the territory, but why can't I do that individually to the riders that are on
I just don't
Stacker.News?
think that makes a whole bunch of sense as a model when layered on top of like the post zap model. I think it's really either or. You don't want too many mechanisms. I don't want a device with too many buttons. Imagine I added 10 buttons to the back of your iPhone. What do all of these
But
do?
couldn't Scoresby just have it for only his subscribers though?
What do you mean?
Like, couldn't he just have a post that's only for his subscribers?
Uh,
Like, if I was subscribed and like a dozen other people were subscribed and only they got access to it because he's charging 20,000 sats a month, kind of like Substack. And then he's still posting his normal stuff on the other thing, and then maybe there's like a windfall after a certain amount of days it gets released to the public. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could easily implement that.
yes, I feel like it can happen. I just don't think it makes sense. I think we might have one or two people who use it, and then it's gonna experience bit rot, and so we're gonna have to go and maintain it for one or two people who are using it. And again, it's just like
Uh,
adding more buttons to the back of your iPhone. Apple has to program every one of those little buttons
so
to
you're
do what
saying
it
like it would
does.
just be like there might not be many. It might not be
I
fruitful.
just, yeah, I just don't think it'd be fruitful at scale. Yeah, if we have a lot of people, and there are rather than two people that might use this feature, there are thousands of them. So it's like at scale, certain trying to solve certain problems makes more sense than at other scales.
Okay. Well, there you go, Wubble. That was the answers to our question, or I guess I don't know if I actually answered it. Oh, he said, would an online publication that already spending money to repost might have an easier time adopting a pay to post model? Did you answer that?
Oh, I think it's well. We didn't really answer the question about fiat. Will fiat have an easier time paying for posts? I don't think so.
I think if you make it, I would say if you make it incredibly easy, where it's just like two button click or one button click, yes. But I don't. Otherwise, I don't think it's possible.
You would pay $1 to post on
Dude, have you
Substack.
not seen the Wall Street Journal thing where they like you go to a Wall Street Journal and it's just like it's a
Apple Pay
smooth,
button or something.
nah, it's like a super smooth little thing, and I'm like, I caught myself almost going, yeah, of course, and then it was just like, oh shit, like I just paid for something. Do you know what I mean? It's like that smooth of a,
No, I've seen.
it's like Amazon one click pay kind of thing.
Yeah, you can mindlessly end up spending money.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I would say yeah, this is.
but that would be to post. I
Oh,
think.
to post, he said.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
not to
post.
read.
Not to read, but to read, I agree that like a micropayment makes some sense, especially if the UX is smooth. Um, as you know, if you don't care about the fact that people are going to get around it anyway, and you just want to capture the person who is easy to get, I would say that works really well. But yeah, pay to post, I don't. People are very conscious. Like you were reading the Wall Street Journal, that's kind of passive. But someone who just wrote something and is publishing it, they're very present, they're very active. I'm not so. I think they'd be thinking a lot more about their button clicks. Um, so I just don't. Yeah, I don't. In fiat context, there's a lot of fees, and but on Substack you might have your credit card already in there, so maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't matter so much. It can go either way, but they would have to have a much higher. Like we charge, in many cases, a fraction of a cent to post. At least I think that's where the math works out to now. And I don't. That's not possible on Substack. They'd have to charge you $1 at a time. So it'd be like a territory that charges you over 1,000 sats to post in. It would be like posting on Substack probably.
All right, there you go. That's Wumble's picks this week. Tune in next week for the wonderful world of Wumble's picks. That's right, Wumble's picks. We're gonna jump into the AI stuff. So this was one that Wumble also picked this week. It's called Flock has a powerful new AI tool for police. We got its code. This is from Wired and from Scoresby. 7 comments, 2,500 sats. Keyan, did you take a look at this?
No, I did not.
So as you've been watching more and more of Stacker News Live, I'm sure we've been on top of Flock for a while now at this point.
We
Um,
flock to flock.
we cover the Flock stuff. I mean, I don't think anybody else in our ecosystem is covering it as much as we are. I'm covering it because, like, it's kind of surveilling a little bit. it's,
Hmm.
it's kind of a it's a little bit like unnerving a little bit. Um, so one of the things that Wired did is they have been able to look at so they basically Flock released a software called Night Shift, and then they more recently just named it to Flock OS, I believe it's called. Um, Wired found on Flock's own website that it had served by its own login pages to anyone who loaded them. So the code described 45 tools at AI's disposal, giving it access to plate scans, camera metadata, arrest records, case files, dispatch logs, ballistics results, commercial databases that contain social security numbers, dates of birth, phone numbers, email addresses, relatives, and associates. So basically, what happened is that they were able to kind of look at all this data, see that it was out there, and by doing that, they found out that Flock is in fact like not telling the truth on a lot of things that they say they've done or are fixing. Another thing that happened here recently is this thing. So this is locally, which is kind of wild
This
too.
Pflugerville,
Yeah, so
yeah,
so
I heard about this.
Pflugerville is like the small little suburb outside of central Austin that a lot of families live in. And they just recently took out all the Flock. Like Flock says, yeah, we turned off our cameras. Come to find out, they didn't turn off their cameras. They were actually still recording everything. And then they just recently voted on ending Flock camera use.
Well, I think the reason why I think they haven't taken them down yet, but I think they started putting those bags over it around the time that they discovered that there was more like non-law enforcement access to those cameras than law enforcement access, and that's what kind of brought like there because there's like audit logs of everyone who accesses these things, and they discovered that it was primarily like civilians or you know civilian-ish groups that were accessing these things and not police officers doing it for business, and that came before their like local council or whatever started putting bags on them. And I guess what you're saying is that they were still recording like other types of environmental data, even though the bags were over them. But yeah, I think there's a number of cities that have completely outlawed them, um, nationwide, at least. But
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and that's not even the worst part. So
uh,
so now you know how AI psychosis is a thing, and you know how drifty these things are. Like, so now you can literally go in there and say, "I'm looking for so and so guy wearing a yellow hat with a hood."
wait,
You like, yeah, exactly. Like it turns into find me a suspect instead of like arresting
uh,
the right suspect very fast. And because the LLM and the AI is so stupid, like it's gonna tell you exactly what you want.
it's lazy.
It's lazy, and if
Yep.
you're not adversarial with it, it'll like run through you. So yeah, so it's getting pretty bad. The other thing that's worth bringing up is this last piece where here, let me see here at the bottom. Yeah, so it goes. I think most. So this is a quote from Jay Stanley, a senior policy analyst. He said, "I think that most people imagine that license plate readers are checking license plates and they're looking if a vehicle is wanted, and if it's not wanted, the police will move along. But we're increasingly seeing the aggressive deployment of AI by Flock, and in some ways, like China, very little space between what can be done and what is being done." And this is where I go to you, Keanu. Like, I actually think like we're literally becoming like communistic America, dude. Like this is like wild to see. Like under the Biden administration, it was clearly a communistic administration. And then we're literally in the Trump era and all this shit is still going on. Like, are we becoming China or is China becoming
Well, I
America?
think
Like,
I would separate.
this is wild, dude. Like this is absolutely wild. Like what happened to good old fashioned police work?
Yeah, I would separate communism from authoritarianism, and communism is more like an economic philosophy, which is practiced in China to some degree, and then they're also like authoritative in terms of their like more of a political philosophy. Um, And I would say this is more like authoritative behavior rather than communist one, where they are trying to like monitor everything in a way so that allows them to practice better control over the population. Uh, it is a private company, but I mean, I don't know if that matters
Andreessen
much.
Horowitz is invested in them. The Founders Fund's invested in them. Like all the funds that are directly connected with like the CIA and other government agencies are contributing to their funds, right? Like this is bad. This is bad for America. This is bad for Main Street America, as if that's a thing, right? Anymore.
I mean, we're Main Street America. I don't. Do you not consider yourself Main Street?
No, I mean like it's small for like even it's wrong. It's sad and it's wrong for even small town America. Like Pflugerville is just a small little, neighborhood
Suburb.
city, like suburb in Austin. Like why are they being monitored with flock? Like it'd be different if like if it was like downtown central Austin where there's a lot of crime happening. I could understand that. But if you're like in a neighborhood with your kids, like do you really want some creepy guy on the internet looking at where your kids are doing and where they're being like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of wild, dude.
No, I definitely agree. I don't like having cameras in public like this. It is just bad. There's really not much to, and I think that's why people have such outrage and interest in this subject, and why people are like cutting them down everywhere. It is
Yeah, so
bad.
they started the company in Atlanta where his first camera was a phone in a waterproof box. It now logs 20 billion plate scans a month. Andreessen Horowitz, Founders Fund, and other venture firms have poured money into the business, which was valued at 7.5 billion in its most recent funding round. The company's original tagline was the first public safety operating system that eliminates crime. You can't eliminate crime, dude. And Langley recently told Vanity Fair that Flock would have solved the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother, had its cameras been deployed where she vanished. And they currently have 140,000 monthly active users.
Wow.
And they're only making marking each edition. Oh, here it goes here. So a gold painted camera covered in signatures commemorates an earlier ritual, marking each additional 1 million in revenue with a new camera. Now we do more like a million a day, said Langley.
Dang.
So
They're printing
sounds
money.
like they're printing money.
It'd be really curious, like if like how the founders actually feel about this stuff, and not how they present themselves. Like, is there going to be like a deathbed confession where they're like super regretful of what they've done? Like the guy who creates Terminator, like this is like that kind of scale, probably like where this leads. Like if this actually just continues happening the
I
way
don't
it
think they
has.
think that long ahead, Keon. Like I've met some founders in my day where a lot of them do bad shit and they're not thinking that far ahead. They're just thinking to the next,
How do you have like so little empathy for your
they're
future
thinking to the
self?
next, like,
Isn't that like the isn't that the one person you should have empathy with, is like your future self?
yeah. I don't know. I feel like in this particular instance, I get the sense that they want to be like, whatever this turns into, Minority Report or whatever, and they're okay with that. That's the sense that I get, and it sounds like the venture firms behind them also want that too as well. And we want to move into this authoritarian environment, and game on. I guess that's what it kind of seems like to me. But I think it's completely wrong to be putting it in neighborhoods. I can understand you put it in downtown Austin, put it in downtown Atlanta. You put it in these like well populated like areas where there's a ton of people. A lot of people could get killed, for certain things or whatever they're doing, whether it's like bombs, drugs, or whatever. I can understand that. But if you're doing it in like a little small neighborhood or like other neighborhoods, it's like when does Flock start installing cameras inside your mailbox or inside your house? Like when do we get to that point? Which I would imagine at some point it is going to have Flock OS for home. It's just going to be a whole thing.
Oh, yeah, that actually makes pretty good sense. Yeah, as a business strategy, they could start selling like Ring cameras and just like aggregating that data.
They probably, yeah. I mean, well, Amazon owns Ring,
Or
so
maybe they'll,
everybody, yeah.
yeah. Well, I think Google owns Ring now, but yeah, it does. No, it's very Minority Report-ish, where it's just so it seems like huge creep
Look,
in the
find me
scope
a
of government
witness based on
powers.
vehicles most seen in this neighborhood during the last 14 days. Imagine that. I'm telling you, dude. It's pretty wild. I can't wait till somebody vibe codes an open source version of this. Then it's gonna get really interesting.
Mm.
Anyways, that's my rant for today. Yeah, so that's the flock stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into Keyan's post. So you already covered that nobody likes the idea of this one, right?
Yeah, that was Wumbo's pick.
That was Wumble's pick. So the other one that you had was take your CLN node offline. This is from Anon. 69 comments, 5,348 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so Core Lightning wrote a few weeks ago, I think early in August, where they were talking about how they had a number of like AI generated bug reports and that they were working through them. But then when Anon posted this in their Discord, they wrote that they were going to do an embargo where they were going to release binaries that were signed, but they were not going to release the source code behind them to give people who were running Core Lightning in important situations the ability to upgrade to the new software without having an attacker be able to easily determine where the vulnerabilities were, which would happen if they released the open source code. So it seems like, people had, but the general advice when they released this was if you're running a Core Lightning node, although today they released the software, but before this, if you were running a Core Lightning node, you should take it offline. They have an offline mode that allows you to kind of watch on chain and make sure you're not getting stolen from, but it disengages any kind of lightning behavior. But it allows you to like kind of be a watchtower for yourself by running an offline mode. So that's what they recommended in the meantime, or just to take it offline briefly until they had this release. But today they released the release. Anyway, this is like of a flavor, like the same flavor of the cold card stuff, where there are these vulnerabilities that the Core Lightning team was able to find using AI, and they want to make sure that they've patched them before anyone begins exploiting them in the wild using AI themselves to find them. And that's kind of the...
Has LND or like LDK or any of these other implementations had similar issues, or is it? Or
I would
issues
guess
have said similar things, or
I would guess they've found nasty bugs in their software that they've patched, but perhaps not something as nasty as needing an embargo. I think most of what the mistake that Core Lightning made here was announcing that they were going to do this before they had any software to give people, which left a lot of people afraid with nothing to do except to take their node offline, which might be important to them. So this embargo announcement, when they said they had an embargo, it was like there are very serious vulnerabilities in the software you're running right now. In a few days, we might have a solution for you, but in the meantime, you can't really do much else except shut down your business if a node is part of your business. And so people just kind of panicked and freaked out online about it, rather than seeing the benefits of this
who runs
strategy.
that project now? Because Rusty doesn't run it anymore, right? Rusty went to a nonprofit or something like that.
He's running Century Metadata.
And what do they do again? Century.
Yeah,
Metadata?
they exist to help you save like your wallet descriptors, I think, for like multi-sig and potentially other metadata, but they want you to be able to back up really important data for a very long time.
That's kind of this one right here.
Yeah,
I found it. Is it this one right there?
Yeah, I would guess he's still advising Core Lightning because he basically was like the central pillar of Core Lightning for so long. So I guess he's still all advising them. But I know they have a lot of competent devs that are working on it. So I would guess he was involved. I saw Nifty tweeting about it. I saw, is it Droyer? Nicholas Droyer tweeting about it. So they're all kind of all hands on deck, I think, for figuring out how to fix these things. But as I said, they released the software, the embargoed binary today. And so 2 weeks from now, they'll actually release the source for it, and the binary is signed. And so if you believe that all of the team, like all the team members who signed it, are not compromised. Um, Probably safe to run it, but if it might not be worth the risk, and better to just take it offline until you can review the code if you do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then if you have like a Start 9 or like a Umbral, do they take care of all those patches or no?
I believe so. I believe they probably coordinated with all of um, the like, I don't know who the brokers, these like these operating system brokers, who do these like releases of this kind of software, and told them to let people know.
Well, there you go. The next one that you had was how our meetup buys pizza. This is from Phaedrus. 23 comments, 6,500 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so it's a little more fun. So Phaedrus runs a Bitcoin meetup in Santa Cruz, and they wanted to get pizza. Or they want to get food for their meetup, but they wanted to pay Bitcoin for it. And their main motivation that they lay out in the Substack post is that they want the people that are attending the Bitcoin meetup to spend Bitcoin, because they know that most of them haven't ever really spent much Bitcoin, and they want to give them that experience of like being able to transfer money to someone else without a bank, without a traditional bank, at least in the process. So what they ended up doing was vibe coding a kind of front end ledger for this. So basically, what you do is you deposit sort of into this piggy bank, this like pizza buying piggy bank, using Lightning. And there's like a record of all the donations that are made to it. I think he links to it in here. It's right there. SCBTC Meetup GitLab. That's it. So that's their little tip jar, cookie jar, or piggy bank. And you contribute to that, and they use those funds to then buy things for the meetup, pizza,
Oh, cool.
whatever else like that. And it also gives the people who attend the meetup the experience of being able to
Chip in.
and use Lightning, which
cool.
they maybe don't get to do normally. But I thought it was a really neat solution to a variety of problems. They do state that they are using CoinOS and feel a little bit, maybe they're not giving people a fully sovereign Bitcoin experience, and maybe not very ideologically correct, but they are giving them the feeling of what a facsimile of what an ideologically correct spending experience would be like. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I just thought it was like a
Very cool.
neat thing.
Really cool. Let's jump into. Was that all your? Let me go here. Was that all your posts you had?
I think so. Yeah, we covered.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's jump into some. Well, actually, let me just share this real quick before we go into the other stuff. So, just wanted to share that we did a startup day last week. So last Friday, about 5 hours ago, last Friday, Gustavo gave a keynote in Guadalajara. I highly recommend, if you're a founder watching this show, or you're somebody who's building something, and they feel kind of like, because when you're building stuff, I mean, ask Keyan, it can get very peaks and valleys. Or no, how do you say that?
Oh no,
Is it peaks
and valleys is good. Roller
coaster. And so I felt like he gave like a really good talk on just that. Check it out here. There's a YouTube. If you're not using YouTube, I'm going to share a link here from Impress, so that way you can see it. But highly recommend it. It just talks about when you're building a company, it sometimes takes longer than you think. So wanted to share that. And then the other one was AI Startup Rodeo. Keyan, it's back.
It's back.
We're doing another
one.
Part two. So it's going to happen October 30th, 2026. That's 2 months away from now. And it's going to be just one day, one exciting day. We'll have breakfast, we'll have lunch. There's even going to be an after party that my friend
Roberto. Halloween.
It might just be a Halloween after party, but Roberto's putting all that together. There's going to be people from the Bitcoin space there. And Ben Carmen, who is a beloved dev from Spiral, will be also doing a presentation, which I'm looking forward to. And we'll be getting some more people in the coming weeks. But yeah, it's going to be at Q Branch, downtown Austin. That's literally right next to Foxy's. If you've ever been there, or no, not next to Foxy's. It's right next to that other Irish pub, the one that we go to.
Red Rabbit?
Red Rabbit. It's right next to Red Rabbit. And
It's right
pretty
across
cool.
from the Dry Skull.
Yeah. If you want to come, highly recommend it. You can get a ticket via Luma down here. Click on that. It takes you to the Luma. If you want to pay Bitcoin, sure, why not? Go here and get it via Bitcoin. Yeah. If you're looking for a good time to come to Austin, this would be an exciting time because you can come the whole week and you can attend all sorts of things.
It's not too hot.
It's not too hot. It's going to be the Austin Film Festival is happening that week. Austin Tech Week's happening that week. AI Startup Radio is happening that week. Halloween's happening that week. And if you've ever seen Halloween in Austin, it's crazy. It's crazy fun. And I'm sure we're going to do a Stacker.News live that day in costume somewhere.
Yeah, you'll be Negan again for like the 4th year in a row.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be a cowboy this time.
There you go.
Yeah, you never know. Anyways, wanted to share that. Get your tickets early. Yeah, I imagine it's going to sell out because that's like the only thing going on. The other thing is I wanted to share this because it's it's from Siggy. We haven't covered a Siggy post in a while, but also like, whenever I see these Siggy posts, my heart just like breaks every time I see it because I feel like this is happening more often for him. But he said some sad news. He said, I made this post almost exactly 1 month ago where he was talking about he had orange pilled one of his close friends, and they were talking about it at dinner and all that kind of stuff. So, and then what happened here recently was his friend suffered a catastrophic fall about 2 weeks ago, and then he passed away. That was on the 23rd of August, which was probably about 5 days ago. And then Siggy says here at the bottom, says, I have lost more than my share of friends the last few years. It's a cliche, but these losses put everything, including Bitcoin, in perspective. So I just want to give a shout out to Siggy and to that family and let them know that our prayers are with them and those close to him. And gosh, it's always a bummer. Like I was telling you, I think I told you, but my friend's mom passed away like a few weeks ago. Super sad, dude. And these are people that I've known most of my life. I knew her growing up, all that sort of thing. And it's just it's sad to see. The older you get, you definitely start losing people around you, especially if you're like in a friend group or something. Like you start seeing everybody just starts dying around you. It just kind of sucks. But it does make you like kind of like what Siggy says. It makes you appreciate like those moments and those memories that you have when you were together because it's like those are forever,
Yeah, helps you reprioritize things and realize that like many of the things that we think are important when everyone's alive and well are not as important when they're gone. I wish you had maybe spent more, like time is maybe a lot more valuable than the Bitcoin that you were trading time for or a friend, friendships, things like that. There's that guy going around who lost like over $1 million from the cold card stuff.
Yeah, I saw him on Natalie Brunell. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's doing some interviews and talking to people, and he's like, it sucks that I lost this money, but I still have my family, and like that. That's kind of what I think about when I think about this kind of stuff. So it's nice, and also sad that he lost his friend.
Yeah, there was one of the most memorable posts of Stacker.News was the one that Siggy shared with his friend. Remember that one? That was like that should be that's a beautiful book. I mean, it should be like its own little. Like if Siggy ever writes a book, that should be in it because it was just one of the most beautiful stories I've ever heard.
He really has written some great posts.
Yeah, that one was great. It was just like such a good like friend post. Like imagine writing that for your friend. That's just like, oh, that was so beautiful. So I'm hoping he writes something like that for this one. I would love to read it. But yeah, just wanted to share this one because it's always sad to see Siggy sad like this. But just let him know that we're with him. I think that's all the posts that I had. We're gonna jump into some dumpster fire stuff. Keyan, Keyan, we're gonna do some meta real quick. Keyan, you released an embedded wallet onboarding on sign up, toggle receive proxy. 70 comments from Coop, 4,886 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so we added an embedded wallet, and it's a Spark wallet, which is part of what set the dumpster on fire, as Carr put it. But to not talk about the dumpster fire yet, basically what it gives you the option to is like when someone signs up, they can create one of these Spark wallets, which we disclose as like with the caveats that we think are appropriate. We try to be honest about what we think we're doing. There are quite a few companies, I think, in Bitcoin who position this differently, but this is the way we view it. We view it as like an easy first wallet for people, and that it has a lot of trade-offs with it. And so that's what we're using it for. Is like someone comes to Stacker.News, they don't have a Lightning wallet yet, maybe, or maybe they don't really interact with Bitcoin much, and having a wallet already built into the site will give them the ability to earn a little bit of Bitcoin and feel what that's like. And then, we can all kind of push them towards more, including in the product, we can push them towards more trustless, self-sovereign technologies. There's some other things. Oh yeah, just kind of, some of these are like more nitty gritty bits of like how wallets work. But we do things to hide your Lightning pub key and like wrap invoices. And there's some settings around that allow you to toggle your privacy settings now. And then just like it extends to a few other wallet improvements. But that's really it.
Yep. Seems like it stirred up a controversy because we had we had this post. So right after that, this morning I woke up.
Get to what Carl was talking about.
Well, no, I'm just reporting the news, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm not the one that started this. Sure. You started this.
Sure. TMZ.
You started this on Thursday when you released that release. So I'm just reporting the news. You just happen to be in it this week. Hey, man, this is what sucks about doing the show. Like sometimes you don't want to cover the stuff, but kind of have to cover it.
Oh, this is fine.
So basically we had this post show up. This from Crew. Fork Stacker.News remove the integrated scam. 91 comments, 7,659 sats. He says Coob added a scam to Stacker.News as an integration. This scam is known as Spark. It is a custodial state chain that advertises them as non-custodial Lightning. Every Spark transaction is tracked. Who want to help Fork Stacker.News and protect Bitcoin from this scam? And then he linked this Paco VM thing, which I'm not sure what this is about. But yeah, what is this tweet about first? Because I don't understand. I didn't understand it when I saw it this morning.
It's a thread about ARC, and I think Crew might have started this, or an ARC. It might be an ARC tweet that started this. But him and Paco VM, who I think Paco VM is kind of representing the Spark point of view, is arguing with Crew about the trade-offs between the two implementations, and like each of them have their own set of trade-offs. They're not as pure as on-chain Bitcoin or even Lightning. And so you can debate those trade-offs, and that's kind of what they're doing in this thread.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, then after that, everything ensued. The top comment was from Swap Market. He says, "How does this affect me exactly? ? I withdraw sats to my own wallet via Lightning address and deposit via NWC. I'm sure this non-custodial, in quotations, designation is needed only to avoid regulatory scrutiny." And then Cruz said, exactly, Coop should grow some balls and use non-custodial Lightning instead of partnering with custodial Spark to destroy Bitcoin. Keyan, I go to you. So did you partner with Spark? I didn't know that you partnered with them.
No, there's no part. They had a technology and an open API that we use. I had no communication with anyone at Spark, except reading their documentation, which is pretty. I mean, actually, pretty great. That I didn't have to ask them for permission. I think it's part of the way they want this product to work. Although I would agree there are a lot of criticisms to make of it, but it's at least not. They're trying. I think they are trying to do their best to to present a solution to the problem that something like Stacker.News has, where we have people who are showing up who aren't. We can't give them a custodial wallet because it's illegal. But we also, we can't expect them to have another wallet because it's too hard and it's too far in a journey for someone to have a wallet already. But we need to give them something, and that's kind of what Spark provides. That's kind of what I think. It's the whole strategy behind this specific product that they have. Um, but it's not perfect, and I think there are valid criticisms to make. I don't blame anyone for being upset about it or not liking it. We don't like it. I don't even think Spark likes it, to be honest. Like a lot of the decisions that they had to make in the product and compromises, I don't think they want them to be there. It's just kind of what we have on offer for Bitcoin at the moment, especially when they started developing this, which was years ago.
Because didn't what's his name, Taj Draja? Wasn't he a
Yeah,
part of the Spark team or something? And
yeah, I
isn't
think
he the one that wrote the Lightning paper, or one
he
of the
was.
guys?
Yeah, he was. He came up with the Lightning paper protocol or Lightning protocol paper. I think he was one of the authors of it. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
basically considered one of the inventors of the Lightning Network.
But he was the one that created this kind of stateless thing.
I would guess he was just kind of doing research, trying to figure out what Okay, we have a state chain. We know that is like a thing that works. It has these trade offs. How can we improve them? They made like a federated state chain. That's basically what Spark is, a federated state chain. And they felt like that provided them, that allowed them to give the customers that they imagined having the UX that they wanted, in addition to being like legally, from a legal perspective, non custodial, at least in a defensible way. So I'm also upset. I share many of people's issues with Spark's marketing, and especially the way they're cut. Like some of the other wallets in the ecosystem market these things as self custodial. I think it's messing with the definition of custody a little too much, and that's why we don't call it self custodial. And I would never say something like that. But should I? Yeah, I think I don't. Their perspective. It seems like the perspective of Crew is that because Spark allows people to misrepresent their product and perhaps misrepresent it themselves, us even using their technology to our benefit makes us bad. And I think that's okay if he believes that. I'm not. I never want to lie to people, so we try to present it as the way we see it. So I can't help if he doesn't like the decision we've made.
Yeah. So everybody jumped in here. So this Darth Coin said something like this. He said, "This is what Darth said. Darth said, you think about you, but you do not think the implications on new Stacker News users that will be fooled to fall into Spark trap. A real Bitcoiner would do all possible to protect noobs from scams, not pushing them into them." What do you say to that, Kia?
I just don't know.
He feels like you're pushing people into scams and all their stuff
I
like
just
that.
don't. So he, I mean, so not a lot of people were recommending. I don't. So I personally don't see Spark as being much different from a custodial wallet. So when you tell your friend who's new to Bitcoin to download Wall of Satoshi, that you can send them a couple dollars to pay for beer or whatever, um, I don't see that as any different than Spark. I see Spark is on that level. It's like for a situation where there's not a lot of money involved and you're just giving someone a taste of the technology. And so it's not like Stacker News is not a kind of place where like a wallet like you'd use Zeus for or any of these other products normally. It's not an exchange. It's literally people sending people fractions of a penny for some shit posting they do. And I think that like having less than 10,000 Sats or so in a Spark wallet is probably okay, just like having less than 10,000 Sats or so is okay in a custodial wallet. So that's my. I do agree that there is weirdness around the marketing, and I may be normalizing that, and I think that is like I'll think about that more. But
Yeah, I think Justin Shocknet had or no, here, let me read what Blockchain Boot said. Blockchain Boot says, looks like we all have more SN rage quitters like when CCs showed up. I
yep.
was going to rage quit Predex if they implemented Spark because they don't offer users any other solutions to host my own wallet. Since Stacker News has many wallet options, the user can pick and choose what they wish to use. He says, EK makes a great point. Stacker News is false. If you think you can do better, fork the code and do it. Overall, the site is still using Lightning and it's still pay to post. Anyone can come and earn sats. As long as that remains, I will be staying. Um, and then Undisciplined says, just when I thought things were picking up some steam again. What do you say about that, Keon?
Um, so no, I would definitely agree that I can't. I get balked. Like the only right decision I can make in many cases with Stacker.News is to change nothing. And even when I change nothing, I take all kinds of arrows from people about what I should change. But it's actually way safer for me to never do anything and make any moves. Um, and I think that's what a lot of people would prefer. Um, but I know that there are a lot of unexpressed preferences as far as like new people joining, things, as Undisciplined said, things picking up. And that's what this is geared towards, is like working our way towards a situation where people have an easy time participating on Stacker.News if they're curious. Um, and yeah, people are going to be upset. I mean, they've been upset at literally everything. Everything we do has someone complaining about it. Which is okay. I get it. You get used to things. I'm the same way. I remember when Twitter like changed their font a few years ago. I was noticeably upset, and I started laughing at myself because it didn't really make a bunch of sense. Um, so yeah, but it is true. Like there's no one forcing you to use this wallet. It's not the only wallet available on Stacker.News. I spent years, literally years, making it so that any wallet that we could support was able to be supported on Stacker.News, and people had maximal choice because we didn't want to have to force anyone in any one direction, because we know every wallet has these trade-offs. People would be upset if we did this with CoinOS. They would say, it is custodial. What are you doing? It's a bank. It's going to go out of business. They are scamming people by thinking they're using real Bitcoin, but it's just IOUs. That's the kind of stuff we'd hear in that case. You just can't escape criticism. I think there is valid criticism here. I think the one I've seen that maybe makes me think a little bit more and is the criticism that we are normalizing companies lying to customers about the trade-offs with their products by
Yeah, I think I saw Justin Shocknet say something like it's like I forget where I saw which post it was. I don't think it was this. Somebody said something like there was only so many options they could do. And please, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but it said something like the only risk that they had right here with this was like a reputational risk. Talking about Saturdays because there's only so many options that you could do. But I don't know if that's kind of the same thing you're saying, but
no, I'm in it more so as like I've been reading a lot of the things that people are saying about it, and I think I don't view we're trying to be honest about what we think the situation is, like in the onboarding of people adding this wallet or participating in this wallet. We try to remind them that they should treat it more custodial than they might believe they should. Um, the main thing is like other companies in the space are portraying such an integration as being self-custodial and having the same trade-off, say, as like on-chain Bitcoin and a hardware wallet. Um, and I might be by us integrating with Spark, I might be normalizing that type of lie that those customers are telling, or those companies are telling their customers, by also
yeah,
participating with that project. And so I think that is perhaps the one thing that I did not think about very much. But uh, most of the other stuff I agree with in general, and I feel like it's not so much a mistake that we made. Um, yeah, except the one I just
so
mentioned.
I guess I got two questions because and I kind of know that you already I kind of know all the answers to these, but so the first one is like now that we know that people hate the Spark integration because of whichever various opinions, do you think you'll see yourself integrating like Arc, whatever it becomes? Um,
We plan to integrate it anyway. It's not either or for us. The whole design, again, years of building the ability to add any wallet, any Lightning supporting wallet that has Bolt 11s and can pay Bolt 11s, that could receive Bolt 11s and pay Bolt 11s. that was like that's how we've designed Stacker.News. So if I have an easy way to provide that in Arc, we'll add it. We'll add Arc Wallet. If Cashew, Fediman, whatever else people might want to use, provide us this ability, we'll add it. That's kind of our.
And then the other question I had was, I forget which startup it was, but they had created a sort of way where you could spin up different wallets, similar to Phoenix, and using some of like Amazon's. I forget what was the name of it. Certain.
Lexi, you're talking about Lexi, aren't
I
you?
think
You're
so.
going there.
Yeah, like have you thought about just doing something? I know it's a
Oh,
whole
running
nother.
our own,
Yeah,
like,
I know it's a whole nother
yeah.
product. And I know what you're going to say already, but ideally, have you thought about like doing something similar to that, to where this way it's non-custodial, encrypted, and it's just probably a higher cost, I would imagine, for each user, because of the amount of money that you would have to drop into AWS to do
Yeah, I
something like
don't.
that.
So I didn't want to. So we've spent probably at least 3 years working towards this. Maybe 2 years of like really hard working on it, but 3 years working toward it, which is more than half of Stacker News' lifespan, is working towards just supporting more wallets. You know, um, and maybe like that's not the product. I don't want the product to be a wallet. The product is something else. I care. I spent less than half the time of Stacker News on this thing, and I want to work on something else, which is more of the community side and like the tools around community stuff.
Build these Substack features.
That's the well, yeah, maybe that, but like that's the problem I was originally interested in, and so we had a custodial wallet, and I could focus. And when we had a custodial wallet, I could focus entirely on that. But instead, for the past 3 years or so, we've been focusing on the wallets, and it's just because of regulatory stuff. But
Thanks, Joe Biden.
yeah, thanks, governments. Yeah, we've thought about that kind of stuff. Like I had someone who offered to create maybe like a liquid type of swap wallet into Stacker News instead of us adding a bunch of wallets. Maybe we just add something like a bull Bitcoin type wallet, build it into Stacker News, but then we have to have all of this infrastructure for that. But maybe that solves this problem. We don't have to work on supporting all these wallets. Or why don't we run our own state chain? If this is what Spark does, why don't we just have our own, and then we're actually in control of it, and we swap into that? And
yeah, but it becomes a whole nother product. And
exactly. So that's the main criticism with this. Is I think this is a job of one of the reasons I don't want to do this job is I think it's a job of another company in Bitcoin to do, or protocol developers to do, grant recipients to do, is to solve this problem of giving everyone a Lightning wallet that's easy to use, that is non-custodial and trustless and doesn't cause all of these problems.
yeah,
And if I'm creating the perfect solution to us that doesn't apply to everyone else, it doesn't really help anyone. But if I'm open to accepting anyone's potential solution to this, which we will be when Arc or whatever else comes out, then that I think helps the ecosystem more broadly and allows us to focus on the problems that we want to solve, which is how to make a community powered by Sats potentially better than one that isn't.
yeah. I heard a comment when I was in Guadalajara. I won't say who it was, but yeah, I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. They had said that there's a concerted effort in Bitcoin to kill Lightning. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but when I see stuff like this, and you go on these rants, I can't help but that pop in my head and wonder, like, is there a concerted effort to kill Sats and Sat flow and
No,
medium exchange?
I think it's just structurally. I think Lightning itself is like somewhat structurally disadvantaged because the technology is so complicated. Makes it really easy to criticize and really easy to point out flaws in it. And so I think that's just where it comes from. It's like your friend who is like ugly but has a great personality. It's like it's really hard convincing people that they should get to know them, right? Like, yeah, where because they don't really understand the depth yet and like the
Yeah.
power of it. But that's kind of what you know that's just the cost. That's like the cost of a lot of Bitcoin things. Actually, like even on chain has this problem.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely feel like like they definitely have all the other stuff that's going on in Bitcoin has taken out the gas a little bit from the Lightning side. But dude, like you see Alby, you see all the Alby cool stuff that they're doing. You see all the cool stuff Spyro's doing. Like you see all the cool stuff that you know, like Phoenix is doing, like Zeus, like all these champions that we all look up to in Lightning. It's just how can you not get more bullish on that? So I always try to remember that whenever I get too dark and gloomy about Lightning and Bitcoin.
Yeah, I generally think people are wrong about Lightning. There's a lot to criticize about it, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
It has done a really good job of extending the immense power of on chain Bitcoin, which is this trustless medium of exchange.
Dude, it's so freaking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can travel countries and you're exchanging the same type of money. Like how freaking cool is that?
No, can you? Yeah, I'm trying to imagine. Yeah, I haven't really traveled much with Bitcoin yet,
It's
but
freaking
the times I've tried to
awesome.
do it with fiat,
It's
it's
freaking
a
awesome.
pain.
It's freaking awesome. You're paying sats for a meal that somebody else is paying in pesos or some other currency, and just because that's what you ordered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing with the new Zaprite peer to peer app, and that's another really slick Lightning solution that's coming out. So
Oh,
I
but
don't
that's
know.
exclusive right now.
Yeah, it's exclusive. You got to be on the cool kids list. Anyway, what was I going to say? But yeah, it's a lot to see. It's a lot to see here. But I mean, I think with anything, and I'll just say this, Stackers. Like I've known Keyan long enough to where, like, you know, he wasn't necessarily the first person like, oh, Clark, you going to integrate Spark? Like he wasn't. He wasn't trying to do it. And I think he had just like no choice. And I think this is. I think it overall like this will at least let him focus on other things. And yeah, there should be people trying to fix this problem. Like, don't leave it to David Marcus to do everything. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe maybe our company should pivot, and I should develop something like the solution to this problem. Maybe that's like the right thing to do. I just don't. I'm not. I don't want to spend my life doing that. Um, but yeah, we spent a year researching Spark. So I was before everyone was complaining about Spark on Twitter. Ek and I were complaining about Spark on SN in like the daily in the saloon threads and stuff. We were trying to figure out which claims that Spark made were actually lined up with the
Mm.
practical realities of it, and we discovered there were a few gaps, and so so for a while we were considering not doing it because we couldn't really make sense of it. But then, yeah. Anyway, this is kind of I think there will be. I think Spark is a great UX pilot for this type of Bitcoin exposure. I think Arc will probably occupy the same space, and they'll compete. I think Spark will probably do have a different take on the future of where they are from where they are now, and Arc will compete with them by
Yeah, and then
occupying a
we saw
different
the
niche.
LND thing that came out, a couple
LND
weeks
is
ago.
experimenting with this stuff.
Yeah, so I think the technology will get better. It just takes a few years, from what I've seen being in the space. It
Yeah.
takes a few years for everything, so we'll probably get a better solution in like 24 months, in my opinion.
Yeah, when the next soft fork will maybe be a Covenant soft fork, in which case
Mhm.
Arc will actually be, I think, more plausibly self custodial, and we might actually have a sort of another layer two, where Lightning is sort of a layer three on top of it. Um, that's always been my view. Is like Lightning is like the last layer rather than
Yeah.
the layer that people build on top
Also,
of.
too, you can connect any wallet that you want. So, um, I would say
Yeah, if you don't
connect a
like,
wallet.
yeah, I can give maybe if you guys want, I can provide a checkbox that allows you to like remove all mention of Spark from
People hate
the
Spark that
wallet.
much.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Surprised.
I think it's just, I think
Is it because of
I
David
think
Marcus, you think, or is it just because of all the podcasts
I
that
definitely think it's
have
a
them?
big part of it.
Oh, you think so? So it's like his affiliation.
I think so. I think they
Okay.
might know. Maybe they know things about David Marcus that we don't know.
I've
'Cause
never
I
met him
haven't
before,
studied him.
but never met the guy before.
I saw him at.
But I know there's like podcasts saying that he's like some thing. I don't know. Don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, he's like rich and powerful. Worked at very high levels at a tech company that interacted with the government a lot. It's very easy to begin drawing
conclusions.
Yeah. So I don't blame anyone for having those suspicions of him. That's kind of what comes with power. Um, and they might be true. I don't know, but that's why we try to be honest about the reality of the wallet. Is like I couldn't figure out a way to proxy all of your connections to their wallet, so your IP is exposed to them. I couldn't. It didn't make sense for us to provide unilateral exit because of a variety of flaws in the way that would need to work. In addition to the dust limits on all of these taproot leaves. So we try to just explain, just treat it like a custodial wallet. Just like CoinOS, they can see everything you're doing. You have no privacy. They can rug you. Same thing like CoinOS.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's I think that's all the stories we had this week on Stacker.News Live. Covered it all. We had a little bit of everything this week. Let's jump into the top Cowboys before we get into the comments. We have like 2 weeks of comments to cover. We're going to jump into the top Cowboys. My favorite segment of Stacker.News Live is the top Cowboys. Getting on up. Did you bring your hat? Oh, you did bring your hat.
I did bring my hat. Sorry, I was drinking a little
sauce.
too much. Yeah.
Lost in the sauce.
The
there,
literal
Coob.
sauce.
We got number one still in hiding. We'll never know who that person is.
Cactus is very alcoholic, by the way.
We got number two, Coob. We got Undisciplined, Blockchain Boog, Gray Ruby. Man, these three guys, man. I mean, are they something or are they something? Look at these three guys. Undisciplined, Blockchain Boog, Gray Ruby, neck and neck. Neck and neck, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. Oh, all over 1,000 days. Who's going to go first? Wow. This is more interesting than I ever thought it could be. Or actually, if you even put Coob in there, oh, wow. You're not even that far. This was not even that far from you.
I'm surprised he isn't ahead of me.
Look at this. This is a race to the finish, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I say somebody drop a Predex here first. Somebody should go make a Predex bet. Who will win this four-legged horse race?
Four-legged.
Gray Ruby, Blockchain Boog, Undisciplined, or Coob. That's what I want to know. Top Cowboys. Then we got Stacker Heidi and then Scoresby way behind. Then we are Satoshi. And then it starts evening out a little bit. Then we get into the 11-12. So we got Wumble, Simple Stacker, neck and neck, Guedo Total, all three of these vying for the 10th spot. Whoever this person is. We'll never know who this person is. Never know.
Yeah.
We got Crew. He's been posting a lot.
He's kept it. We'll see. He's going to fork off. We'll see does he keep his cowboy hat? Is it still a cowboy hat?
Well, I wonder, you think if he forks, do you think he'll take the cowboy hat with him? Will he leave Cowboys in there?
Oh yeah, he might see
if you do fork off, Crew, and you want to bring Carr on board to your new fork of Stacker News, make a general store. I've been telling Keyan for a decade to make a general store, so we'll see if he does it. I'm just kidding, Keyan and Crew. Kidding.
Yeah, well, maybe you can try out some of Carr's ideas.
They're all bad. No, but he has 43 days.
Here's Substack is really great.
29 days. Coffee Badger, end of the mic. End other mic, 20 days. Still stacking all these years, 19 days. Karaito Sensei, 15 days. Satoshi Planet, 14 days. Yeah, and then from there, it just kind of keeps going. A lot of people, a lot of stackers. Got Pleb Poet, Eve Stacker, 117, Solomon Satoshi, Max Webster. We got Pleb Lab in there. We got Signal. We got Atlantis Plus Pleb in there. Mr. Anderson. And who will be the last one standing? It will be, we saw, Corey San Diego's there. It's going to be 3996 A0737. You're the last one. And you're an independent European community for peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading through Monstro Protocol. What's Monstro Protocol?
It's like a
Nostr thing.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer exchange on Nostr, backed by Nostr Relay. So you post all of the kind of trade details and stuff on Nostr, allowing you to maybe get some of the censorship resistance that you might
Yeah.
not get otherwise.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the top Cowboys this week. Let's jump into the comments section. See if I can find that. There it goes. Comment section. So the comments that we have this week are from Fountain. This one's from Blockchain Boog. He says 1 Apple review, but over 1 million sats on Fountain. Yeah, I heard all the Boog audio. Tests good. Thanks, Boog.
Oh, great. I didn't realize we made 1 million sats on Fountain. Yeah, you were trying not to tell me. Just you pocket that.
Undisciplined says, move on to the next comment. Undisciplined says, way to model health and fitness, fellas. I don't understand. Car, if I were designing an immunity taco, it would have lots of garlic and be super spicy. That sounds good, actually. Have you ever had a garlicky taco, Keyan?
A spicy garlicky taco? Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about with health and fitness.
That was 2 weeks ago. Maybe we were talking about
we're both
health and fitness.
jacked.
I think we were talking about walking, maybe.
We're both fit and fun.
Yep.
But
Block Dyer said, cool. I don't know what that means. I think Gray Ruby just zapped us. Then the next one was this one up here. Blockchain Boot said, Wumble's picks. People like the Wumble's picks. Are you surprised how fast Wumble's picks have taken off? Because remember when it was a whole new segment we added. It was a lot more easier to get people on board into Wumble's picks. Yeah. Are you surprised how good it's taken off, Wumble's picks?
I don't know if I would call it taken off.
I mean, people are commenting now, Wumble's picks.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty awesome to
Can you say Wumble's picks?
I can't.
Why not?
Because I wasn't like a fan of Blue's Clues or any.
Oh, is that Blue's Clues thing?
I don't know, like where you're like commanding someone else to say something.
I wasn't trying to command it. I was just saying, can you say it? Can you say it long like that? I've never heard you say more than like one syllable.
Yeah, no, I try to use as little air to say the words that I want to say.
So you'll never extend a word. Have you ever extended a word?
No, I don't think I'm so theatric. Maybe if I'm feeling passionate or something.
What would you extend? Like Stacker? Like, would you say something like that or no?
No, maybe. No, I don't think so. It's not really a thing I do. I'm not that dramatic. It'd be nice to be that dramatic. I can inhabit that, but not.
I don't consider that dramatic. I consider that a little colorful.
That's what I mean. Colorful, dramatic. I didn't mean dramatic as in a bad way. I meant as a good way. Dramatic is good.
Undisciplined said, I don't think Coob would passive aggressively throw shade on other Bitcoiners.
Sure
who would do that?
We were talking about this before the show.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But
I
do that.
I like you when you don't do that. That's what I'd say.
It's way better.
You're a better person when you don't do that. But you do that. You do that only when you're in a salty mood. But that's not too often. It's not too often. I get in salty moods too. I think we all do. That's us at our worst. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we got another one. So Reverend Hoddle said, "Shout out, Reverend Hoddle. I saw him in Vegas. By the way, it's good to see you, brother."
Oh wow.
He said the energy is building, and it's building all over the world in a decentralized way. The revolution is growing from the edges to the center. When had this happened before in history? Bullish. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like a lot of what we see. I saw a post earlier this week on Stacker.News. Somebody was talking about X and stuff, and I get the sense that there's just like this X psychosis in Bitcoin happening right now. And it's not until you like go out there and go to meetups or go to conferences and talk to people that you realize that it's like Bitcoin's happening with or without you. And you either get on board or you can just like get left behind. That's kind of how I feel every time we do these things. Like, it's getting built. Like everything's running. So it's just very bearish to see people who are like, oh no. But,
yeah, Bitcoin works. It has this incredible energy to it. It's going to keep lasting. So even if we're building kind of slow on it, it just accumulates and accumulates. It's like barnacles on an old whale or something. Like that's kind of
Yeah,
yeah, it's just going to keep getting larger and larger. Maybe yeah. So I think yeah, that's the way I feel about Bitcoin. It's just powerful. It's a powerful force in the universe, and um, yeah, we'll keep contributing
I
toward it.
agree, Reverend Huddle. Bullish. Then we got Gray Ruby said Zap. And then we had the YouTube comments. Somebody said TC Music. Don't know what that means.
Music.
And then somebody else said it seems surprising that a person with Dawkins' intellectual gifts could be a victim of the Eliza effect. What is the Eliza effect again? I feel like that's Eliza effect. Is that when you think there's something that there's not? Oh,
Yeah.
the human tendency to project human traits, feelings, and intelligence onto simple computer programs. Yeah, you see that by what's his name? Altman does that a lot.
Well, he has like financial incentive to do that, but Dawkins doesn't. But yeah, maybe Dawkins is. I don't know. I haven't read much of Dawkins. I know I should.
Do you think you'll ever get that way, or are you too smart to fall into that trap?
No, I'm not too smart to fall into any trap, but I do think I would. I do believe that machines will eventually be conscious. That is my view. We've talked about this a bit, but I view that they will eventually be conscious. I also believe they will eventually be smarter than humans, more conscious than humans, whatever that means. We don't know what that means exactly, but I think that is inevitable.
Yeah, I don't foresee that being a thing. I feel like for me personally, I just will never see them as um like an actual living thing, just because I feel like the technology behind it's pretty.
Lifeless.
No, no, not that. I think it's just like it's like understanding how these things work behind the scenes and knowing that that's actually happened. Like those people that are like it's kind of like the opposite of. So when people like look at their body and they're like, "Oh, I'm feeling this way emotionally because of these certain synapses in my thing, and because I have low on like zinc or something," and like they talk through all these like different biological things that are happening to them, and that's why they're depressed or whatever.
Mhm.
I get the sense for me personally, I'll be that way towards robots. Where I'll be like, oh no, the only reason he's empathizing with you is because there's these hard coded things that he has in his like MD file or
Program.
whatever,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I feel like I'll be that way for robots.
How long
Personally.
do you think that lasts, though? Like, 'cause you can only say that for so. Like, eventually, you begin. It's like kind of when you were growing up. Like you view people a certain way, and then you have enough experiences when they're like, "Wow, this is way more complex and more nuanced than I thought."
I think for at least this century, I don't foresee them getting that smart until we get to like quantum. So I would say the majority of the century. I mean, I feel like we'll get some good Star Wars robots in us. I feel like we already have some outside, but I don't think we'll get to like you know something smarter than like a RoboCop type of. I actually think we'll probably get more biological, like human hybrid type of thing happening before we get to the full android, like human, what you're calling consciousness or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be the step before.
What's the step before?
I feel like it'll just be like these dumb Star Wars robots,
Okay.
and then we'll get to a point to where we'll do these normal robots that Elon's making, but they still won't be good. And then humans will just merge with these types of robots, like you know, Elysium type of stuff, and then we'll eclipse, and then we'll get to like the actual, like
That's the
what
optimistic.
what you're talking about,
I like that point of view. I hope we do that. I hope we merge with the machines. I'm not so sure we merge with them, and yeah, I think it'll probably be a bit of a fight because I think we'll have to like probably. Like there's not much reason a machine would want to merge with a human. A human is like
no,
kind of flawed.
I mean like humans will want to merge with like these certain.
We will, but the
Yeah.
machines won't want to. If they're already, the point is like if they get smarter than us before that happens.
No, I'm talking about like a Kano eye and like like part of your brain's connected to like a
Yeah, but
Raspberry Pi or some shit.
We'll
Like
be
that.
like that, but we'll be at war with machines that are pure machines with no human element to them.
No, I don't think the
Terminator.
robots will get that smart in our lifetime.
Oof.
I hope you're right.
That
I just
assumes that we have plateaued, right? Like it's not going to get better.
No. I think we're going to be fine. I just don't see robots actually getting to that level. You're talking about like okay. When I say it, I'm talking about C3PO. I can see our robots getting as smart as C3PO, But C3PO sucks as a robot. He can't really do anything. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think we'll have the R2D2s running around. But if you're talking about like, oh, do we get to a point where it's like, Blade Runner? Like,
Yep.
I don't think we get there.
Oh,
Not until we
so
get like
another
until
bitch.
like at least a century.
Nope. I
The
would
year
guess within a
3000.
decade.
You think so?
That's like exponential. That's an exponential curve.
So you think within a decade we'll get to like Blade Runner level Ryan Gosling?
Yep.
Freak. Really, dude? Have you seen Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah, that's
There's
where.
no way we get
that's-
in a decade, Keyan.
Yeah, that's where I think.
2035.
Yep.
Wow. With the skin and everything.
Yep.
Wow. You're way more bullish than I thought.
Well, I know it's not. It's not even bullish. It's actually the opposite. It's actually pretty bearish. It means that we are, humans are going to be extinct.
I don't think in 10 years.
In 10 years, I don't. I mean, it's not that humans are going to be extinct in 10 years,
How
but
many
it's that
how many Michelob Ultras have you had?
they're just Michelob. This is just giving me brain juice, dude. I'm reaching a higher level of consciousness
Wow.
with this cactus semen. So,
Dang, that's crazy. You've had 6 of those over there.
oh,
6 beers in, ladies. Not me.
they're ultras, right? They're like half a beer. It's really all one beer.
All right, I'm
they're
gonna hold you
they're
to it.
packaged
I'm
together.
gonna hold you
It's
to
one
it.
beer.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see if we get to human conscious level
Within 10
androids
years?
Within 10 years.
That's my bet.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Prepare for that.
I mean, I can't imagine it because I've only seen it in movies, but I don't think that's possible. Like, who's gonna make it? Is it gonna be OpenAI? Like, how do you foresee that? Anthropic, or is this just some other companies come out of nowhere?
Maybe out of nowhere. It doesn't really matter. It's like it doesn't matter. Like technology just has like a trend to it, and it just builds on itself. You use technology to make better technology, and it just keeps happening and happening. And so now we have better technology than we've ever had, and we're going to be building the next technologies based on that better technology we have right now. And it's going to be therefore, it's going to be much better than the current technology we have, and so on, and so on, and so on until 10 years. And you have these
10 years.
skin suits. Yeah.
We're literally talking to an LLM all day. Some of us, I mean,
We're
typing.
we're training them.
Some of
You're
us,
training
some
them.
of us are talking
You're
to
helping
them,
this
but
future
like,
happen.
so, I don't know. We'll see.
That's what I think.
And then Gen Z, then Ursi said Gen Z is getting robbed blind on the sports betting. Yeah, I don't know. Are they? I don't know. I guess they are.
Maybe. I haven't done much sports betting because it'd be fun though.
I think I would be doing sports betting if I had like a regular job though. So there's that. All right. That's all the stories we have this week's Stackers. We're gonna go ahead and end the show now. But Keyan, what are you doing this weekend? Drinking more Michelob Ultras?
I don't know. I
looks
might
like.
have finished that case here, but
Oh, you killed the case already? How many came in there? Like,
we're still moving this weekend.
oh, how's that going?
So
I feel like you've been moving for like 2 months now.
Yeah, it's about right.
When you
it's
say
going pretty
moving,
good.
what are you moving? Like dead bodies? What are we moving over there?
I mean, a little bit of everything, bit of dead bodies, a bit of this, bit of
Is
that.
it just taking a long time to pack? Like what's
I just don't. Yeah, it's like a lot
like
of
the motivation to move?
I think that is low. Like we try to do a piece at a time.
Oh, okay. So you're just going slow.
Yeah, we go slow rather than just kind of like throwing it all in a box.
Oh, so you're actually like getting rid of stuff and like actually putting it in the correct box.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's maybe not the right way to do it, but that's how we do it. So yeah, this is the last weekend, so we really need to finish it this weekend. And I'll be hungover tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Wow.
Probably. But
Yeah, I'm helping
about you?
somebody move next week. We won't see who it is, but he's moving to his house. So that should be fun.
man, he turned into a real like a product of the man. Bought a house.
Whoa.
It's the only one we know that owns a house, right? I mean, at least among the type group.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to check it out and like it's always good moving. I feel like it's always like fun to move stuff.
It's never fun. It's the worst ever, but it is. It's very useful to have to move.
It only sucks when you have to move every year, but if you don't have to move every year, it can be fun.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Oh.
I then also like if it's like flights of stairs, that sucks too.
The stairs definitely suck.
But yeah, that's pretty good. So you're just gonna keep
Keep moving. How about you? What are you doing this weekend?
I think I just probably gonna take a couple days off. I'm debating whether to come in tomorrow and like work like I normally do, or like take a day off and then just come Sunday. So I'll probably take the day off tomorrow.
What are you
And
gonna
then and
do?
then I'll come. I just probably just
What are
I
you
just want to like relax because I feel like it's been like 2 weeks nonstop of
Mm,
human interaction, and I think I'm all juiced up.
juiced up.
Yeah,
Get that squeeze.
I was watching that movie The Core yesterday. Have you ever seen the movie The Core? It's
Oh, it's about the
where
Earth's core?
yeah, with the Earth's
Okay.
core. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. I didn't know Stanley Tucci was in there. He's actually a pretty funny guy in the movie, but the whole movie is about them like trying to revitalize the core
That's
of the
right.
Earth,
It
and
stops
like
like spinning.
it
It's
stops
gonna go
spinning.
cold.
It's really dumb, but it was like really fun to watch. It was really stupid because there was like this hacker guy in there, and he was like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "I want you to control the flow of the news on the internet." And he's like, "No one can control the internet." He's like, "But whatever you want." And he's like, "I want hot pockets and like Red Bull or something." He said something stupid like that. He's like, "Okay, I'll do it." And then he controls the flow of information on the internet.
With Hot Pockets and Mountain Dew?
Yeah, he just starts hacking.
The power of hackers.
The power of hackers. All right, that's all we got. Keyan.
That